Welcome to Sabado Session podcast, and today I have got Paweł and Agata. So, for those of you that don't know who Paweł is, he's the magician behind the unmovable objects that we have in Agata in the IPF. When people talk about Agata being the GOAT, pretty much the best powerlifter that ever lived, the person behind all of that, the engine, is right here in your screen. So, I can just the first question, guys, how you guys doing?
Let's say it quite well.
Yeah, it's been a fun few days. A bit of
Do you
an
know,
emotional roller coaster, but
I'm gonna go straight to it, right? I know we will be touching down about Agata and the training or whatever, just to give people a little bit more insight about powerlifting, about history. But let's talk about straight about what's happening in the media and what's happening right here, right? Because from my perception and from what people are hearing is Agata refused to compete at the World Games, right? Even though she's been begged so many times to compete at the World Games, and she literally turned around and said to the federation, "Fuck you, I'm not doing this." Hence why she's been banned, because I've listened to a few podcasts, I've listened to a few videos. Of course, the message going across left, right, and center. Me and Agata have spoken about it. I understand the story as. I just want you guys to give a little bit of a downtown story to the people that are listening to us, the true story. Know that story, people thinking Agata, because she's thinking she's the best powerlifter of all time, she thinks she's bigger than powerlifting. That's what's happening out there, but we don't want that narrative. We want a true story here. What's happening? I'll start with you, Paweł.
Actually, I think it starts with the words in 2024 because Agata actually won that and have the how to say it
got the nomination.
invitation for the World Games. And since then we got actually in March we got first accreditation for World Games. Also, I was like included in it.
Yeah, we received the spreadsheet that you have to fill out to get accreditation for the World Games, and Paweł also received it.
Yeah, and during our nationals, junior nationals in June, we had some rumors that I will not be in the Polish national team for World Games, that I am excluded. And there was no official communication from our Fed. And after that, because actually from 3 people who will compete at World Games, sorry, in Chengdu, 2 of them collaborate with me.
Wow.
So yeah. So actually, I believe Zuzka first wrote a message. What actually happened? Why Paweł is not in Good Lift system as a coach? And we received an information that I will not be a part of the national team. That the how to say it? Pieka, czy to jeszcze nie teraz?
Co chcesz powiedzieć?
No jakby dalszą część. The part of story.
Basically, our Fed decided that we don't need Paweł in Chengdu. That they provide good enough coaching.
Coaches.
Yeah,
So before even we carry into that, my question leading into that is, because some nations around the world, because again, I've been a world of you guys and Sheffield and all of that and so on and so on. Some nation around the world, they have got head coach and assistant head coach and the group of head coach. Has Poland have the similar structure?
So the way it works in Poland is that we have a head coach who usually goes to most major meets, but then it's up to the lifters to nominate their own coach. And the only thing that a person needs is a coaching license.
Yeah.
So it's always been like we nominate our own coaches, and that's just how it works in Poland. And that's why Paweł has been with me at almost every international meet that I've done, because it's always been like that. He's also been at the World Games in 2022.
And suddenly here, they've changed it for you, Paweł.
Yeah, and we think that maybe it's involved by the change is caused by money, because this is the first time that our Fed has some money from government, because it's World Games. Actually, for every international meet, I get there by myself, by my money, I paid for it. basically. So
So here
maybe
now,
this is
so they
the
have
main reason.
to help. Okay. The thing is, like, Agata, I don't know if I could ask this, but I heard that in Poland, especially yourself, being a high caliber athlete, you go to World Games, you come up with gold medals, or which is, of course, who's going to be Agata? Jesus Christ. But anyway, you coming up with a gold medal, it means the federation gets some sort of funding from the government. Is this true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, you refusing to go to the World Games is because of Paweł not being in the team. Is that right?
Yeah, basically, we believed at first that he would be going, so the sudden change was weird to us. And I just didn't feel like going to China for a week and competing at a meet of this caliber without my coach with me there. So it just wasn't worth for me. So, yeah.
So in terms of like, Paweł, you said there, like, of course, you didn't know that you're not going to be part of the team. And after that, you're trying to make some inquiries and they told you you wouldn't be needed and then they have enough team. So since all that communication has been going across, how is the relationship has been between you guys and the federation itself?
Actually, the federation is not that doesn't talk with me directly from like a year, I believe.
What have you done? You have upset someone. Tell me the truth. What have you done, my friend?
You're just a good coach.
Basically, yes.
Because this is stemmed down, like, again, sorry about the story. I'm going to bring us back a little bit, a couple months ago or so, because when the rumor came out, when Agata did Silent Worker, the next thing that went online saying, oh, Agata and the coach have broken Article 14, therefore they will be banned. I mean, me, again, because I've done Silent Worker multiple times, and I'm thinking, I read this statement, I'm thinking, are these people that trying to get clicks and views? Silent Worker is the RPF sanction me. Do you know what I mean? Why would Paweł and Agata be banned for this? And I hear, oh no, it's the federation. So how did that stem these kind of rumors coming out or these kind of decisions coming out of the federation? And it happens just as against you two. I haven't heard of anybody. They don't do that with anybody else. It's just over you two.
To be honest, I feel like a lot more lifters and coaches have bad experiences with our fed, but they're just scared of speaking up because they fear they might get suspended for this. There's a rule in our federation that says that if you, how to say it in English?
If you will compete at the not this.
Chodzi mi o to, że jak działasz na niekorzyść wizerunku związku. That if you say, basically, if you say bad things about the Fed, you can get banned for.
Even if it's true.
Yeah,
You could
for
just...
destroying its image and stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, there's not a free speech in Poland.
Yeah, post-Soviet Union, right?
Oh my God. That's Jesus Christ. You know the funny things, right? As much as we laugh about these things, sometimes we think like it's just a joke. It doesn't exist because the world has moved on. For me to hear like a federation where people are getting banned because you've said something against a senior figure in the federation because they believe you're gonna ruin their image is ridiculous. So again, let's go back in terms of like, how did you receive the news that you're getting banned? You get your license cancelled.
So after we received the info that Paweł won't be able to go, I also wrote an email to to the Fed asking for them to nominate Paweł as a coach, which they haven't answered to. So yeah, so then I asked my club, because in Poland it works this way that you have to be a member of a club and they basically take care of everything with the Fed. So I asked my club to write an email saying that I'm withdrawing from the competition, and they asked for a reason. I said because I feel like the coaching staff won't be good enough for me, and yeah, they answered that they're going to revoke my license because of this.
This is crazy. So basically, we are living in an era in Poland where the federation are having the power to tell lifters when to lift. It's almost like, I think I've heard this and even some of the podcasts, is like, it almost unheard of and pissed me off because you're a full-time powerlifter. This is your job. So basically what they've done is they've taken your living away from you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, I'm gonna go back and ask. So since you guys have, I know you guys have done a few podcasts. I've listened to some of them I just got the highlights, which is fantastic, right? The funny thing is that as soon as that news came around, the Agata license has been revoked, and of course, Pablo, you've been banned not going to the World Games. One of the things I like about this story is the message is spreading really fast. You know,
Yeah.
which is a good thing, right? Because the reality of thing, whether they like you or not. But that just show powerlifting as a community, we are united. And especially if something got to do with Agata, the whole world will stand up. Every single powerlifter out there, or if it will stand up. So have you guys heard anything from IPF from this one?
No, not exactly, not yet, actually.
Have you written to them?
No, not yet, because actually we are mostly I am like in touch with lawyer, so we want to be prepared. Because
Okay.
actually now Agata lost her license, but I am 100% sure that it is not the end. That after she will want, because after 6 months she might try to how to say it, to get her license
reapply.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it might not happen. The Fed might just
Not give it to me.
yeah, not give it to me for like another year, another 2 years, another fucking 5 years, etc. So I hired a lawyer mostly because I am like 100% sure that we will have some issues, have some problems with our Fed. Me, myself, my other lifters, not only Agata and Agata herself.
Yeah.
So
Another thing is that it's been an ongoing thing. We had the Ministry of Sport reach out and they were trying to do something. So we were just waiting to see how everything turns out. And now that it's past the final nominations, we will start doing all of that, reaching out to the IPF and all of that.
Yeah.
just because the thing is, like, I'm in a position where, like, forget. Okay, of course, for me, you not going to the World Game piss me off because, especially all the dropout we've got around the world, people dropping out. But at least, like, when you were looking at that list, thinking, look, at least we have Agata coming. I'm gonna be going. Colin is coming. At least we got like big names coming. Do you know what I mean? To represent the raw side, classic side of powerlifting. So you not going because of the decision that Poland has taken is really poor. That all of us know that is really poor. My question is leading up to that is, so in terms of like the structure in Poland, right? Because here in Britain we have got the CEO, chairman, we have got our DC, which is the disciplinary committee. Do you have that structure in Poland as well? Somewhere where you can probably, I would say, file your complaint?
Not exactly,
Not
because
really.
actually you need to know that the current authorities are there with some minor changes are there from 90s. So those guys know each other for really long time. And basically the athlete in our federation is like fucking puppet. You have no right to speech. You have no right to decision about yourself. Even in the this paper with the license, the rules about license, there is a rule that if you will avoid or refuse to compete at the international level with the rank of exceptional, how to mistrzowski powiedzieć, on a really high level,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
might get your license cancelled.
Yeah, it's a rule in a rule book
Yeah.
that if you refuse to compete, you can get your license revoked. So
So
we,
basically, you refusing to compete for the World Games, they have called for that rule. That's why they revoked your license.
Yeah.
That's why we kind of expected this would
To
happen.
come.
Yeah.
So what about the athlete first then? Because in the IPF, there's a rule as well that said that the athlete has to be put first. Do you know what I mean? Because as much as Lacey said, because I got to compete a lot because it's the decision she makes to compete a lot, right? So if she decided one day, she said, look, I'm only going to do 2 meet a year, Sheffield and World, and your nations decided, no, we want you to compete 4 times. So they will enforce you to compete the 4 times that they want you to compete.
Already
Actually, they have forced me to compete at national meets before. They basically twice told me that they will only accept my Sheffield invitation if I do a national meet.
Yeah.
And I have an email from them stating this, so I have proof that they're doing this.
Yeah, and actually, they did not.
They basically, so that's a long story. So in 2023, I got the message from Arun that I would be getting a wild card. And fast forward to October, it's a random Saturday, and I get a DM from Pete asking me if I've received my Sheffield invitation yet. And I'm like, no. So he confirmed with me that he sent it to the right email addresses. And I'm like, yeah, those are right. And he was like, okay, weird. They should have sent you this. So it's a Saturday. You can't work on Saturday. So we had to wait until Monday to start calling some officials from the Fed. And I couldn't call myself, of course. I had to ask my club's coach to do this because they won't talk to me. And basically, after a full day of phone calls, I finally was told that they were blocking my invitation because I haven't done a national meet that year. Because that was the year I only did Sheffield, Worlds, and Girl Power. But there was a national cup happening in March, which was just 2 weeks after Sheffield. So I wrote an official letter to the federation to ask them to let me compete at Worlds without competing at that national meet, so that I could qualify with my Sheffield total. And they agreed. So I just didn't have a reason to do a national meet. And yeah, basically.
I mean, the thing is, like, the fact that their communication is so poor, number one, right? They can't even communicate to you. Right?
I forgot to say one thing. That was like 2 days before the deadline when we had to accept our invitations. So
if you didn't make those calls and the process, you would have just missed Sheffield 2023.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That is correct. And then thinking about it, like, no disrespect to Poland as a nation, but when you look at Poland now in powerlifting, especially in the classic side, without Agata, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Without Agata, people will say, like, where is Poland?
Yeah.
You know, but you guys are still strong on that platform because you have an Agata. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And think about it in this way, that other federations, those WPC, XPC, WRPF, are really strong in Poland because no one, literally no one, want to deal with our federation, with PZK FITS.
Yeah.
And they are just moving to a federation where things are easier. Despite there is no actually powerlifting career, there is no doping control, etc. So
there's a lot of people who don't even want to get on gear or anything like that, but they just don't want to lift in our federation, so they compete untested because it's just so much better. The meat production, how they treat lifters, and all of that.
Is this one of the reasons why Krzysztof Uzbekski left IPF?
Yeah.
One of many, yes.
Yeah.
This is crazy. This is crazy. Because again, as I said, looking now today, we're here in 2025, but still, when you talk about 105 93s, if you can't mention Krzysztof, then you live in a rock or something. Do you know what I mean? So this man, this legendary figure that you had for your nations, that almost put your flag up there, you just let him go because of politics. So I'm going to follow up with a question in terms of, like, your license has been revoked. We're talking about 6 months here until you apply and potentially get another one. So that's 6 months. We're talking about January. So in January as well, Sheffield is what? 3rd week of January, right?
Yes.
So you might apply this one, they might delay it, and bang, you miss Sheffield.
I mean, you have to accept the nomination earlier anyways, right? So
basically, you without a license, they won't be able to send your nomination to you.
No, because it has to go through the national federation.
This is mad. I'm sorry. I know this is a podcast. People are listening. They're supposed to be hearing us covering things, but I'm just so upset about this. All right, because I'm a lifter, and I'm looking at my federation. If they do this to me, hey mate, I'm gonna fight someone. You know. But again, at the same time, of course, the license has been revoked, so missing the World Games. So the question for me will be is, what about if the condition is Paweł to come back to the team for the World Games? Would you go? Because your name is still there.
Yeah,
Yeah, but actually,
that's what we were trying to do, but it's too late to add a coach.
it's after final nominations. Actually, we read some comment that or message
Oh
to
no,
send it to.
yeah, I've talked to someone from the IPF and they said that it was too late to add Paweł
As a
anyway.
coach.
Yeah.
So what about if, is there a world where Paweł can come to us to Chengdu and just communicate with the coach or whoever's going to be handling you at the back, have some sort of like communication link? Is that a way that can be done? Because you're not on the platform, but you have
like it's not like we won in this. This is not our winning.
Even if it happened, we would probably just get suspended later on.
And
that's
actually,
the reality.
This is like the big fucking fat sign that okay, we agree what you did to us, so I will be there as a fucking tourist, not as a coach, and I don't accept that.
I agree with you. I agree. It is upsetting, especially the work. Again, like I've said this, some nations, of course, they don't see the World Games as it is, you know, in terms of like, that's why you see a lot of people pulling out. But some nation in Europe, like, of course, Agata, you've done equipped to yourself, but now Classic is going, even someone like myself, like I'm going to Sheffield, but I still agree to go to the World Games because it's one of them things that I once in 4 years, right? You want to do it. You know, like yourself, like you're 2-time Sheffield winner. You want to get a classic medal included in that. You know what I mean? To solidify your legacy. I'm not saying it's not solidified, but it's a good thing, a tick box exercise. So what they're doing is they've taken that away from you guys. So I'm going to bring back to Paweł, you said about the federation being there into the 90s. Do you have a structure of like elections in your country, or it never happened? Like AGM, General Assembly meetings, do you have them?
Yeah, we have like every 4 years there is like how to say it that all clubs or members of the clubs they're allowed to
like a general assembly.
Yeah, general assembly, something like general assembly every 4 years. But any voices that would like to change something are silenced very, very hard. Like what I can say, it's
basically you're still living in that dictatorship era of that or that what Soviet Union era. That's basically you're still there in terms of like those old school mentality is still there. Do you know what I mean? So even though the world has moved on, powerlifting has moved on, but people still have them. So you know what? I think every single federation have their problems, right? I'm not saying the British Federation we are saint. No. There's a lot of problems in our federation, but there's one thing in our federation we have is a link to communication. There is that way of you reaching out people and talking to people, having a conversation, right? That exists. So Agata, on yourself as well, in terms of like this mess happening with this federation, have you tried to reach out to SPD? The reason I'm saying that someone like me, if I'm having trouble with my federation, I reach out to SPD. SPD will probably just say to me, sort it yourself. But someone like you can use your status, the level you are, for them to assist in these matters. Because especially if SPD does have a relationship with the Polish Federation, then you can probably use those links. Have you tried?
I mean,
actually, I have some conversation with Pete, and Pete is like knowing about everything simply because we didn't like use that contact to do anything.
Okay. You just know what's happening by the contact.
Yeah. Due to the fact that mostly we were counting on our Ministry of Sport. Now is like now things are changed.
Basically, we were waiting until yesterday to see if anything gets resolved. And now that we know it won't get resolved, we will probably start reaching out to more people. And
in terms of the Ministry of Sports, have you get any response from them when you file your complaint to them? Have you got any response? Nothing?
Well, didn't really file any complaint. I think they saw what happened and reached out to us, but their only concern was to try to get me to go to the World Games. So I think they will stop caring once it's over. Anyways.
So basically, it's not about. Sorry about me laughing, but it's not about let us help resolve the matter, but it's more about you can still get to the World Games.
Yeah,
rather than actually solving the problems, which is the major problem. With like this is because this is when I'm hearing this story, I like the fact that you guys are standing up for yourself, because it's almost like every single lifter that under your umbrella, Paweł, in your club, you're fighting for these people, because if you're treated like this, you, Agata, being the best female lifter RPF ever produced, you're treated like this in your home nation. What about the rest? What about the rest that we're never going to be on that level? Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And for me, it's like when I'm listening to this, is the reason I mention SPD, IPF is because it's not just any other lifter we're talking about here. We're talking about Agata. Agata missing Sheffield 2026. That will be the biggest story than actually Sheffield itself. Do you know what I mean? You missing Sheffield will be bigger than actually Sheffield itself. And I don't think people like Ben Banks and SPD, they want that. They want Sheffield to always be bigger than the athletes, right? But at this point, you're becoming bigger than even powerlifting itself, because your news has spread across even the untested. Have you guys seen some of the story? I will start sharing these stories with you guys. Some of the untested federation talking about you potentially going to compete with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, ABS powerlifting from Ireland really badly want us to go there.
Yeah, I saw ABF doing you and Steffi Cohen going head to head.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Do you blame them? No. Do you know what I mean? And the people like us, we're just thinking like, please, can you stop this madness? We don't want to get Agata go. Do you know what I mean? So, Paweł, I would just ask a question in terms of like, of course, as much as they said, like, of course, we have enough coaching staff going to the World Games, right? In terms of like your relationship with the head coach, how's your relationship with the head coach? Do you okay? That says it all. Anyone that is not listening, watching, I'm seeing that reaction.
One thing. You actually, Zuzanna Kula. This is our best equipped lifter.
Yes, Susanna. Yeah,
he was the lifter from Arkadiusz Znojek, so our head coach club. She was like very close to him, and after she broke her ACL, she started to seeking help, and she started working with me from March 2024. And after that, my situation in our federation drastically changed for worst. And I think this is it might also said everything about my relation with head coach. He doesn't like me. I think we can say that he hates me, because in his eyes, I stole his best lifter. Even in any sense that it makes, because actually this is this thing that they treated lifters as a puppets. How the fuck I can stall the lifter?
No, I mean the lifter make the decision.
Of course.
Yeah.
And
the lifter makes it. I mean, today you're with Agata. Agata might decide tomorrow was like, you know what, I'm gonna go and work with Flex. There's nothing you can do.
I will just raise the hand. I will shake the hand. Okay, good luck. All the best.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
It was a joke.
Agata, that's a joke. So I'm going to spare you myself. You think Flex is going to handle your 6 days SPDs a week? And now it's probably 7. Oh, my Lord.
Road to 14.
Talking about 6 days SPD a week, right? I heard Joe Stanek is doing almost the exact same thing with Perks. As soon as I saw that, I was like, why are you copying Paweł for?
Because it works.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, but you're a freak. It doesn't mean it's going to work on everybody. You're not normal.
Not entirely true. Most of my female lifters get 6 or 7 SBDs, and one of them, Shara Justina, raised her total from 417 to 530 in 1 year. So it works.
It works.
When you just said it works, right? Guess what? My doctor start hurting. You're just saying 7 SPT a week. I can feel my data going, but it's crazy, right? But again, like, let me just revert back to the conversation of your license form. In Poland, you have got, of course, if your license has been revoked, basically it's telling me whenever you compete on the platform, every single lifter have got a competition license.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm basically no longer a member of PZK FITS, so I'm no longer a member of the IPF, so I just cannot do any IPF meet at all, national or international.
So your license is equivalent to a membership for us here in Britain, because in Britain we don't have a license, we have a membership.
Yeah.
All right. How much is this license?
120 złotych. It's like 20 euros, something like that.
So 20 euros. So because of 20 euros, these people are insane. These people are crazy. So basically, okay, I'm gonna title this episode, Paweł still the best head coach, lifter, and banned from World Games and ruin Agata's life. That will be the title for the episode. Because he's his fault. He stole the head coach best lifter, and you're going through this. Right? Because
All your fault. No, but to be honest, for me, the problems started earlier than this. It started back in 2023 with the Sheffield nomination, and I have no idea why they had a problem with me in the first place, but it's just been getting worse and worse since then.
So, you know, whenever you compete in, because again, as I said, Paweł, Agata does a lot of meets internationally, right? Which is rightfully, she has to, because this is her living. She doesn't have anything else to do, which is a normal thing. Even some of us always sit in the background thinking, this girl, she's fucking crazy. Jesus Christ. You know, how come she's picking this many times? But at the same time, she has to. That's her living. So have you had any comment from the federation when they see Agata doing these many meets? Have they commented on it before in the past or nothing?
I think they don't give a shit about it, because it's like when Agata, for the words or Europeans, both of us are paying for our trip to there for competing, for the accreditations, etc. For for Gear Power, for Sheffield, the host is paying for it, right? So actually, they were like, okay, go.
They only care that I don't compete at national meets more often.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, what's the fucking point if I'm just coming to a national meet, getting 3 attempts in, hitting 100 kilos below my best total, and I still win best lifter? What's the point for me to do those national meets?
Imagine that Agata is doing the first attempt, going back to the weight to the warm-up room and doing back off sets, because I prescribe her, okay, you will do singles and do some back off sets, because we need to
do our session.
Yeah, it's a movement. Yeah, because otherwise, because that to me is like, if let's just say, I mean, I'm pretty much like, I'm not saying a similar situation with you, but for me, last year turning up to Sheffield was the last time ever I was able to get a dispensation, right? But now this year, they told me already, if you go to World, if you end up at this is why when I went to World, I kid you not, guys, when I went to World, of course, everyone going to World, you want to win, right? I wanted to win. But Sheffield qualification was not in my mind. My mind was like, even like, oh, you know that aspect you win, you go to Sheffield. I didn't even think about Sheffield. All I was thinking, I just want to win. I don't want to think about Sheffield. So because I didn't win, I came second. And then I start thinking about Sheffield. I said, oh, what's going to happen if I qualify for Sheffield now? You know what I mean? And when I qualify for Sheffield, then it came to my head and thinking, oh, shit, I can't get a dispensation for the national. And our nationals is in December, which is like what? 4 weeks before Sheffield. Well, 4 or 5 weeks before Sheffield. So still, I came back home, I applied for it. So basically what they do in Britain is now, I don't know if the rules are going to change, because last Sunday we just voted a new CEO. I don't know if the rules are going to change. So someone like me that's going to Sheffield that asks for a dispensation, they will put me in group B or C of the qualification to the international next year. All right. So basically, people that will do the nationals They will be selected. They will go in the other group and see who's a better, good lifter there. And then they will just see me in the corner. They'll say, what can we do about him? Do you know what I mean? Even though this is one of your best lifter you have in the country, but still, I'm not going to get an automatic qualifier for the world. It's not going to happen. So basically, like for Ade is going to do the national. He's going to win. He's going to world. But me, in terms of like doubling up or whatever, no, I might end up staying at home next year. So I might not see you guys in Saudi Arabia. So, do you know what I mean? But the difference in Britain is I know the people I can talk to and I know the people that can respond. That's the difference between us and Poland, right? Because what you're telling me is almost like they have not created that communication channel between coach, athlete, and board. It's almost like what we say goes. They're not thinking about the well-being of the athlete. They're not thinking about this is your full-time job. This is your income. Literally, your income comes from powerlifting.
Yeah.
Right? And don't worry. The World Games, we're not going to get anything. That's what SPD said to us. Fuck you lot. We're not getting a penny. Do you know what I mean? Rightfully so. But you have go like standard worker. You have potentially go advocacy in the US. And you potentially can do, of course, Sheffield. These are money meat. This is part of your income. If you miss these 3 meet, you only do world next year.
You know what? One of the things that they said about me that's in their minds a bad thing is that I prioritize money meets over meets like Europeans.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, it's a bad thing to them.
Why is it? What? Okay. Are they paying for your programming to Pavlo? Are they paying for it?
What?
I'm just asking if they are. There's nothing we can say. Are they paying for your nutrition? Are they paying for your sport therapist or massage or whatever? Are they paying for your treatment?
Can you guess?
So I mean, what? Because some nations, Pablo, the federation and the national team or whatever, they do help financially. So do you guys get anything from Poland?
Me? Never.
I
Sorry, I got some money for World Games 2022. That was the first and the last time I ever. That was some given to me from Fed.
I sometimes get like the competition expenses covered. So, you know, traveling, all the fees and stuff. But it's like from time to time. So it's not regular. I never know when I will get some money. And yeah.
So that does come from the pot they give for the Ministry of Sports. Am I right to assume so?
Nope. Actually, yes and no. Because the Ministry of Sports gives us money, gives Fed money in terms of World Games. You need to know that, and it will be tough to say it in English. Our federation is not like official.
Let me just Google that.
Yeah,
word.
thank you.
It's not
like
recognized.
An organization that is dependent.
Recognized.
But that is connected with Ministry of Sport.
Oh, okay, you don't have that sport license.
Yeah. It's not sport union. It's
okay. Because
they're basically not recognized by.
It's not a governing body that's recognized by Ministry of the Sport.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they're just an association.
It's an
okay.
It's actually it's happened in 2020 because our federation is like
powerlifting,
fitness, powerlifting, and bodybuilding. And yes, and in 2019, I believe it was like doping rule violations.
We had too many doping.
Fails. Too many fails
by bodybuilders, so the entire association lost its rights.
Yeah, and it was like banned from Ministry of Sport.
You see, this is the problem with federations that have got many different kind of disciplines, because the French, I think they have got the same, because the same canvas, the same thing as Poland, where there is like arm wrestling, and I think there's strongman, I think some bodybuilding, something like that, right? Don't quote me on that. But French is not just powerlifting. they have many different kind of disciplines as well. So the problem is, again, as you mentioned there, one side of it felt a lot of drug tests or whatever, it affected the entire federation, you know. But with us in Britain, it's just powerlifting. It's equipped and classic, nothing else, right? Although I'm not saying we're not saint, you know, every 2 years or so, we have got someone popping. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, we're not said things like that happen. I always say to people, this is not a drug-free sport, it's a drug-tested sport, right? Some of us that do even the real, some of us just that are genuine, we believe what we're doing. There's some people out there, they get away with things, right? So yeah, we're not going to touch down there, but it exists. But in terms of like the structure of having many disciplines always have an effect, you know, long-term effect on the federation. So since they lost that license in 2020, as you mentioned, so is this still going on, or is this something like the relationship has gone back and they got their license back?
Actually, we only had some rumors that every year they try to make that happen, that
To
we
get
are
it back.
to get it
Mhm,
back,
mhm,
but
mhm.
it's still not happen.
Oh, I have a funny story to tell you, by the way,
Go,
about
mate.
them. So they're pretty bad at getting sponsors, right? The Fed. So we usually don't have any sponsors at meets. And last time at our junior nationals in June, the only sponsor was a company that makes supplements and peptides.
Mostly peptides. Yep.
This is a IPF genius.
Yep.
Look, I know, Pablo, as you said, I know the president or whatever the leaders are from the 90s, but they know the rules. How can you get a sponsor of a company that makes PEDs?
Rules are for lifters,
Yeah.
not for the authorities.
Okay. Jesus Christ. So, in terms of like, what about the major brands like A7, SPD? Have no never have that conversation with the federation or helping? Because again, as I said, you are there.
SBD is always at our national meets, but that's about it. That's like the only company.
So the federation, the federation is not sponsored by SPD.
No, not at all.
Okay. So you wear SPD because you are just an SPD athlete. That's why you're the only one that has got a beautiful Polish singlet that I'm still waiting to get my copy. Agata, it's been 2 years since I've been asking you. Jesus Christ. And hopefully you turn up at Sheffield. If you turn up at Sheffield, bring me
message
one.
you sent me for the first time. I wanted to give you one at Silent Worker, but you weren't there. I don't know what happened at Worlds.
What happened at World? Oh, at World, believe me. I'm not going to talk about it. The Germans that they gave me too many tickets in my car.
Oh.
Yeah, those tickets literally follow me here until now. I'm still getting letters. Go like speed ticket. This. All I'm thinking of, fuck, can you just leave me alone? Please. You know, I'll go like free speed ticket. Like I called him, I said, why are you giving me a speed ticket? I was only doing like what 5 kilometers above the speed limit. Oh, yes, that's €5. Come on. Do you know what I mean? I paid another one. Well, I paid another one. And yesterday, my missus said, there's 2 more letters there from Germany there for you. I was like, fuck my life. Jesus. You know, and I'm still paying. Don't get me wrong. There's not much, but it's annoying. And the way you pay him, you don't even call. You send the money through an international bank account, right? And then I'm just thinking, oh, these people. It's just anyway, that's a story for another day. You know, the Germans, they definitely don't like me. I don't think I'm gonna turn up in Germany again if it ever happens. But anyway, again, it's sad the fact that, of course, that license being revoking. So, Paweł, on yourself as well, in terms of like coaching in Poland, you don't have an issue there at all, isn't it? You're all right. Because Agata's been banned, but you're not being banned in terms of you still got your coaching license.
Actually, yes and no, because we are not in the same club. Because I have
Okay.
agreement with the club coach and the president of the club of Agata that I will coach her, and he's totally okay with that. But I resigned from my
Club.
my club, yes, to make sure that my fed will not hurt my friends, because I was in KS Team also. This is the name of my club for like 12 to 13 years in it. And I just said to Ivona, cancel my license, because I don't want any involvement, any repercussions on you due to the what we will do and what will happen. But actually, I have one more license, and this is the mystery for the Fed in which club, because they
forgot
said
about it.
Yeah, they forget about it.
They said that Paweł doesn't have a license anymore, which is not true.
Yeah.
So
Oh, so
do
you
a
can
research
use the
and
other
find out.
license.
Yeah, because actually it's kind of funny, because need to have a license to participate in like on international meets, and actually no one cares from which club it is till now, because that was
So how long is these license you guys get? What's the length of the license, especially the coaching license? What's the length of it?
couple of hours.
No,
And
how
it's-
long
Oh,
you
How
get?
long? Oh, yeah. How
A
long?
yearly thing?
yeah, it's for
a
a
year.
year. And
So the license that you got there, you're counting that you still can use if Agata gets hers. This license, the federation doesn't know about it.
yeah, I'm still like the IPF slash PZK Fit coach still.
Okay. So I'm not gonna put the podcast in Polish, because otherwise they'll find out that we talk about it.
Yeah, there's plenty of.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Oh.
we'll see how it will be during the nationals in October. When I will have some lifters, we'll see if they will do some
The reaction to it. So Agata, because your license has been taken off away from you to do the meet I just mentioned, but again at the same time, the French meet, the American meet, you can't do that with the license. If you understand, you can't, can you?
I haven't talked to Leah or anyone from Silent Worker yet about it. I need to reach out to them. But for the Avancus, RCI is working to get me there as a guest lifter, but he needs permission from Keller, so we're waiting for that.
So Keller. Okay. On that note, that's another issue you're gonna face, because
it's kind of different from the situation when she will get banned. She doesn't have her license, so actually she might get license for any country. So
okay.
I think she might get.
She might still be in a position where to see Agata on the platform around. So as you said, like
some nationals, yes.
yeah, as you said, the work is being done. The work is being done in the background, and then of course there's always another solution elsewhere. Do you know what I mean? There's always another loophole. You know what I mean? I'm sure someone out there, you know what I mean, someone from Papua New Guinea or whatever will say, "Look, we want to have Agata come here." Do you know what I mean? you know, I'm sure, because again, to me, is a robbery to powerlifting. You know, I'm not just talking because I'm your friend. I'm just talking because of what you bring on that platform. You know, you are the lifter where every time you compete, people outside IPF, outside powerlifting, even people in different sports in the podcast, they talk about Agata. Do you know what I mean? They do. So they're robbing that away from us. And 6 months for us not seeing that, for me, is just like, Jesus Christ. This is why I mentioned that we probably need to start looking at what IPF, if IPF can get involved, if Sheffield can, SPD can get involved, because this to me is not normal. Do you know what I mean? You can't get someone license off because what? You're doing me wrong and I can't stand up for myself and you ban me for that. If it was anything like you went there and did a pod, what you call it, post online or whatever, talk about them and they're thinking you are ruining their reputation, then I wouldn't be on your side, because people from Soviet Union, that's what they live for. They don't like people talking about them. Do you know what I mean? Because if you do, you're hanged. Simple as that, right? So in terms of like, of course, the deadline is gone, as you mentioned in the beginning. Now you start the process to start fighting it. And of course, Paweł, yourself, you said you have got lawyers. Is the idea ever to take the Fed to court, or is the idea to fix this matter in an amicable way, sit down, let's have a talk, or maybe you're gonna take it to the next level?
We'll see. We'll see. Actually, now I would like only talk with the president of the whole federation, because there is VP for the responsible for the powerlifting, there is VP responsible for bodybuilding, etc. And the vice president also is not like not my big fan, so I also don't want to talk with him. I can, in terms of like some agreement, I only can talk with president, no one else. And if it will not happen, then I will go to the council of city Warszawa, to Warsaw City, because they are responsible for them. And some other, I will just do some other things, like also that I was like hurt by it. Agata was hurt by it, in financial way, in
Yeah, financial way, you know what I mean? Mentally, it's stressful. Do you know what I mean? No one is gonna pay that, because I know we always people will say we always hide under that mental health umbrella, but this is stressful. Not knowing if I'm gonna compete or not knowing if I'm, because again, this is her living, right? She will lose income as a worker, she lose income at the vacancy, she lose the biggest paycheck ever on the planet at Sheffield. You know, and then she's not even the people like me that is just say, what do I normally call us? I'll normally call us like the supporting cast. But she's going to Sheffield to actually win. It's a bit, to actually win, not just to compete. So that is massive. So it's sad to hear about it, but at the same time, I'm happy the fact that you guys say there is a plan in place and there's a structure that you guys are going to follow and see where this matter lead. So my question now, go on.
I just want to add another funny thing, because I just remembered. I sent that withdrawal from the World Games 3 weeks ago. I lost my license 1 week ago, and I'm still up in the nominations for the World Games. So
I saw that.
don't have a license, but I'm still nominated.
Yeah, I saw that. That's why I said like. That's why I said like. Paweł might come to Chengdu as a tourist. You know, come as a tourist so Agata can lift. But again, a lot of people will perceive this in a different way. A lot of people will say, "Oh, why Agata is behaving in this way, where she should just compete." You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, she hasn't done anything. At the end of the day, the federation are willing to get her license reinstated if she compete. But that's not the point. The point is what is happening in the background. It need to be fixed, because if you compete in Chengdu, this is not going to stop.
Yes.
Right? Next year they will do it again. The year after they will do it again. They will do it to
That's
another
one
person that
thing.
will come in.
And another thing, competing at this meet with these people who are doing everything to make our lives harder, it would just be stressful. It wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't be a good comp. I don't think I would have had a good performance.
Yeah, you rather, you know, when we turn up to World, we go and compete for ourselves and the nation. But in Chengdu, to me, it's coming across that, especially what they're doing, you're going to compete for Poland. You're not going to compete for Agata. You're going there for Poland. And you don't want to go there for Poland because the way the federation is treating you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, which is not fair on you. It's not fair for your family. It's not fair on your friend, coaches. It's not, because you become their instrument. You're nobody's instrument. Do you know what I mean? So, which is really sad, but it is what it is. So, my question I'm going to ask Pavlo, in terms of like, so now Agata license is gone. And now how you, in terms of a coaching now, as a coach mindset, how you making sure that she still keeps on top of our games? Because again, 6 months is a long time. We don't know in 6 months if she will get this license or not. So what's the plan here? What are we doing? Are we just saying, okay, let's strip everything, or are we just carrying on with the mentality of let's just prep for it?
We will do the biggest block of accumulation that she ever had, in terms to make sure that he will be as strong as possible. Then after she will get her license back, she will just destroying every fucking lifter on the planet and do 140 IPFGL points. I can assure that. I can assure you that it will happen if they will not change their mind in terms of license. And actually, we thought about it, and I think it's your idea to do something like a meet during the Sheffield when the
Just
Sheffield
do a
will
live
be.
stream of maxing out.
Yeah. Actually, maybe not to interrupt the Sheffield, like 2 hours before or 2 hours after the Sheffield, and just to show the people what the fuck our federation did.
That's crazy. 1 second, guys, at the door. 1 second, I'm coming back. 1 second.
Sure.
You probably remember this box, Agata. Remember what box this is?
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Because yeah, I didn't get my 2 release. The last 2 months, I didn't get anything.
Oh,
Apparently,
really?
yeah, apparently the postman delivered it to a wrong address and they sent it back to France.
Oh no.
So yeah, I know. I just got them now. So hopefully I got it 2 deliveries. So yeah, again, guys, to me, I'm excited at the fact that this has not tainted your motivation, Agata. And as a coach, you always want her to push, because almost like a lot of people in this world, especially when things like this is happening, it does discourage a lot of people, right? I'm not saying it's the same, but look at what happened to Chance Mitchell. It's because SPD did not want to fund the Sheffield or whatever. My man disappeared in the face of the earth, right? And then, of course, we probably seen what's happening to Bob. I'm not saying it's similar, but disappeared, because it's almost like the discouragement to, especially powerlifting. I always say this: every day you're in the gym, you're lifting weights, you're lifting weights, you're lifting weights, you're lifting weights. It's not an easy process. I know Agata, she's an animal, she's an alien, the way she does it, right? And when we finish the podcast, I'll send you my address so you can send me that singlet. I just remembered. But anyway. Anyway, but I just wanted to put it out there so I don't forget. But the reality of things, it is a hard sport to do 6 days SPD, 7 days SPD. It's hard. And for people there to have an influence of banning you or taking your license away, it's frustrating. You know, and the fact that, so in this World Games, right, if you do the World Games, is there any monetary incentive for the federation to receive in terms of the representation?
If I won?
Yeah, if you win the World Game.
Yeah, they get some money from the government.
Yes.
So they weren't even gonna. Oh my Lord, this is just hitting my brain. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no sense in the world. How many coaches are going, Paweł?
3. And
So we have 3 lifters going from Poland.
actually 2.
Now 2, but originally there were supposed to go 3 lifters, me,
Yeah.
Zuza, and Jarosław Olech.
Is that
And-
equipped, right? 1 classic and 2 equipped.
Yes.
The two equipped. One is your lifter, Paweł.
Yes.
Yeah, so the coaching staff is Arkadiusz Znojek, who is
Head
our
coach.
head coach, Grzegorz Nocek, who is the vice president of our federation.
Why would the vice president go to? Why would the vice
That's
president go
what
to World Games?
we're asking.
Yeah, it is an excellent question.
And the third coach is the personal coach of Jarosław Olech.
And from the same club, to be exact, because actually, apparently,
So-
the main,
They go hire a personal coach, right, from her club. So basically, what I'm hearing here, Paweł's spot, the vice president has taken that Paweł's spot. Because that's what happened. Because again, 3 lifters, 3 coaches, fair enough, right? We go. Like, I think the British team is the biggest team at the World Games. I think so, because it's like, what? How many lifters we have? Me, Christian, Annie, Bobby, Ziana, and Joy. So we have 6 lifters going, and there's 2 coaches.
Oh,
Yeah, we have got Matt and Pidge, just 2 coaches. Right. So it's basically 7 of us going. So you guys, you got 3 lifters. They got 3 coaches. One of them is one of those coaches is a vice president. Have you guys challenged that? Why is the vice president going?
Actually, not like directly, but in our reel, we said that is really weird decision. Actually, it's get weirder because he was like in the he was
Nominated as
nominated as a
referee.
referee. Thank you. But also Arkadiusz Staszewski, who is the coach of Jarosław Olech, also is nominated as a referee. So there's no
need for him to go there at all. He doesn't coach any lifters competing at the World Games. We're talking about Nocek now, so he doesn't coach any lifters. He's not from the same club as any of the lifters competing, and we have another referee going. So, yeah.
He's just the vice president.
Oh, I get it, because the federation is funding for it, isn't it? It's a free trip to China to go and see the panda.
The government is funding it.
It's okay. The funding is a free trip to China to go and see the panda. So why not? Why can't I just ban Pavla? Do you know what I mean? So, oh my God, this is so. You know what? It's making the podcast for me to run the podcast so difficult, because every time I'm thinking about it, it's pissing me off. You know what I mean? Because again, these are the things where I understand if this happened 5-10 years ago. I get it. But powerlifting has to move on. We're in a position where.
Not in Poland.
So how's the membership in Poland in terms of like lifters? How's the membership? Is the membership growing?
We wanted to actually check some statistics to see how many people are lifting in the IPF and how many in other feds, because those other federations are growing.
Actually, during the national juniors, I think there was more junior lifters comparing to the year before. But in terms of like seniors, it was the same or even a little bit less lifters than the year before.
Yeah. And then again, we have an untested meet that also does sleeves, not wraps. And it's 5 days long because there's so many lifters.
Yeah, it's like almost
basically
100 lifters comparing to the IPF, sorry, with the PZK feeds, where we had approximately during the seniors 200, maybe.
Yeah.
And the equipped in our country is really laughable, because during the nationals in equipped, we have 30 lifters.
But Poland used to be one of the best equipped nation on the planet. So where is everyone gone? Retirement? You know what I mean? Because again, like with us in Britain, the IPF, which is great, British powerlifting, is growing, is because we are attracting the people in the untested, right, to come over. When I say that, let me just put a caveat there when anyone's listening. It doesn't mean everyone in untested, they use PEDs. No. Some people in the untested, they are in untested because their friend lived there. You know, that's the only thing they know. Do you know what I mean? And they start discovering the IPF is there. You know, the other federations are there, and they're switching over. Again, I don't have a problem with someone switching from untested to the tested powerlifting. I don't have a problem, because at the end of the day, we're stronger than them anyway. Do you know what I mean? So whatever your drugs you use or whatever, you come here, you're still getting slapped. Simple as that. I don't care. But the problem I have is someone switching from the tested to the untested. Because if you switch from the tested to the untested, I get pissed off, because my rationale behind it is always like, you are already stronger than them. The competition is here. So why are you skipping competition to just go there and just get easy life?
In Poland, competition is much bigger on the untested side. And
it's better.
Yeah, our national meets in PZK feeds just look like high school bench press competition. So I once sent Kedrick a photo of our nationals, and he asked if we were going to play volleyball. Yeah, because that's what it looks like.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
And we always get like the schedule 1 week before the comp, so you never know when you're going to compete and when you should book your hotels and
Oh my
all of those
God.
things.
So
No
they are
call-outs during the warm-up.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah. The
Last
barbells
year,
are
last year at
150.
nationals, we had 0 pairs of collars in the warm-up room, and the vice president said that you don't need them.
Yeah.
Just get your coach and be careful. You don't need collars.
Fun enough. 2022, my second European Championship, I did it in Poland.
Oh,
Yes, Kierniewice.
Yeah. I did it
It's
in Poland,
also very
how did you
controversial.
like it?
mate.
Okay,
Look,
yeah.
Be honest.
IPF, don't get me wrong, they always put us in places where you don't want to go to, right? Poland was one of those places where I'm thinking, do I even need to go to the venue or just go to the airport, go home? Do you know what I mean? It's because I'm not talking about, oh, the country, whatever, whatever. I'm just talking about the location where it was. Luckily, of course, I had to rent a car, right? It's 45 minutes from the hotel when we were staying, Pavla. My Lord.
Yeah.
The, the bed I was given, right? I was scared to lay on there because I'm thinking the bed is gonna break. Right. So I go literally the mattress, right? I put it on the floor because I'm thinking like that's the only way I can survive.
We didn't have to rent the official hotel, so we didn't see the hotel.
It
But
was mad, crazy. And then at the breakfast, right, downstairs, we went. I remember the Team GB, like we stay in these, all of us in one place. We went for breakfast, and they said to us, "Oh, because you know when athletes were cutting weight, all we do in the breakfast is like bread, butter, and eggs, right? You don't get the full English." So I went there. I was like, "Can I get some eggs?" It was like, "How many you need?" I was like, okay." I was counting my fingers. The lady was like, "Why are you counting your fingers?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm counting how many eggs I need for now, and then I will need 2 or 3 more eggs for lunch." She goes like, "Oh, you can only get maximum 2 eggs here." I was like, "Excuse me, 2, literally 2 eggs maximum." All
we're
right.
sorry.
We're sorry. Really.
It's all right. 2 eggs maximum. We had to get to the supermarket, all of us, buying eggs, bringing them to our room, asking for kettles, boiling those eggs in kettles. Because the restaurant said in the morning, you can only get 2 eggs maximum. And what do you call it? What was the toast? You can get 3 toasts. And I was like, where are we? Where are we here? Because again, the difference between where we were and the people that traveled to Warsaw, it was a different ball game. Everyone that ended up in Warsaw, they were like, "Oh my God, that place is amazing. We had a great time." And I was like, why did they put us there? You know, and then again, this is nothing to do on you guys. And where we were, the level of racism, it was here. I remember me, Temi, I think Mo, we went to McDonald's, right? This is a true story, not even a joke. We went to McDonald's, we were in the queue, and we looked on the left-hand side. There was a school bus. The kids came out of school. Everyone were at the windows, taking these new black people coming. I'm telling you, I was like, at one point I said to Christian and Tim, I was like, you know me, you guys, I mean, Agata, you know me, right? I love joking. I came outside. All the kids were there. They were just looking. And I was like, "Guys, do you want a picture? Who wants
Maybe
a
they
picture?"
recognize you.
Literally, I was like, "Who wants a picture?" Amy was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "What can I do?" Because they are at the window staring at these black people. And then in the middle of the night, it was me, Indy, Mo, walking to the shop to go and get drinks, right? Suddenly, we see these 5 or 6 Polish men coming out in front of us. What you guys are doing here? And I was just like, "Mo, please." I looked at Indy. I was like, "Guys, can you react here? We're in Poland in the middle of nowhere, right? If I die here, my wife and my kids would not know where I died. So let me just go get a drink and go home." So again, like I'm saying, like that proved that everything you're saying to me is not the country, is the federation that run these, is the people that run these federation, right? They don't think.
Imagine how bad our nationals are if that's what Europeans were like.
Oh my!
This is like with the Europeans in our country, there is some controversy also connected with, because the host was one of the clubs from the Fed, and actually they wanted to have some lifters competing during the Europeans, and some of the lifters, really good lifters, who might do some even small medals, were like thrown away without any fucking word from the competition. And like 4 or 5 lifters after that just resigned from the IPF, from PZK FIS, and tell that they will never ever.
There were basically lifters who qualified for the meet were replaced by lifters from that club.
Yeah, who were like,
So
like the last one during the whole fucking group, right?
So the lifter that qualified to represent Poland at the Europeans, last minute, they remove their name, they bring the lifter from the clubs.
Yes.
So but the lifter from the club, they did not qualify. Hold on. This is what?
Really. That, yeah. And no one said anything from the like fraud lifters that we're sorry. It's like we had an agreement with the club, they will hold it, and or just literally anything. No.
How long did they give them until they removed the name? How long was it? Was it a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? What was it? 2 months?
I think very, very close to the final
nomination.
The first nomination.
Preliminary
Yeah,
nomination.
That is crazy.
Actually, those guys already started some prep, right?
Because preliminary, you already started prep because you're already getting ready for the meet. So the other thing I want to ask is that, again, that meet, you know, that European meet we did in Poland. Look, there's two sides about it. It's the worst international ever done by any lifter. They will tell you that. The reason for that we call it worse is because it's not the refereeing and the judging in that meet was criminal.
That was the only time I ever failed a squat on depth at an international comp.
Yeah, true. Also,
the referee was criminal.
Panache also got bombed out all the squats, I believe.
Emil bombed out.
Yeah.
Christ, bombed out. And Gustav came out with one squat. I remember Gustav coming into the back. I was standing there. Gustav was talking to me in Swedish because he was that pissed off. And then I let him talk, and at the end I said, bro, I didn't understand what you said. Can you say it in English? He just looked at me and was like, yeah. He just walked off. This is gold. Literally. You know, that meet was horrendous because we had Emil bombing out, Panna bombing out, Gustav coming out with one squat, and Owen Hubbard from the UK getting injured. He literally got his adductor literally ripped because of the refereeing on the platform. He came out, he had the first squat. He had 2-1. The referee, the judge, they turned the lift down, right? And then he had to take the lift again. They said to me, oh, you need to go deeper. And the way he squats, because it's a wider stance already, squatter. And he came to that meet, he was not 100%. He had an injury. Let's just say he was about 90%, right? The adductor was about 90%. So when they asked him to go deeper, it's forcing that depth. And he went in the hole, he just went, ripped. Do you know what I mean? That is the worst meet ever done.
About the guy who stole the t-shirt from the A7 stand?
Please tell me. Please tell me.
He was one of the coaches from Poland.
Yeah.
He was handling a Polish lifter, and then he stole a t-shirt from the A7 stand.
Yeah, and it was all recorded on cameras. There was a big issue with it, and our head coach just paid for it. And actually, the
tried to cover it up.
Yeah.
So they paid for it, they tried to cover it up. You know, you do know you can actually ask, right? I know I'm not saying everyone has the money to buy these things, but if you really like something, the A7 stand or the SPD's there, you can actually ask. I ain't got money, but I like the t-shirts. Can I get a free one? If they have a free one, they will give it to you. Oh, that's mad.
We had that he did it just to for fun. Yeah, something like that. It wasn't
No,
like he is
that
poor
is-
and he can't afford the A7 shirt. You do it for fun.
That's crazy. Guys, thank you for staying with me this long. There's just a couple last questions I have. So, Agata, in terms of course, the license is suspended. Potentially, you can't do the silent worker, but again, you're gonna have to have a conversation. So, with silent worker, because I know this year you did it when you and Pavla went to France. Did you have to ask for permission?
That's the reason we got called for the disciplinary committee, because we didn't ask for permission.
So, because you didn't ask for permission, the next silent worker and you are banned, that means you're not a member of the federation anymore. So you don't need to ask for permission. Then I
Yeah,
don't
but
see why not.
I already got permission to do that one from them.
So go and do it.
Yeah.
So I'll see you. If I don't see you in Chengdu, I'll see you in silent work in France.
Yeah.
Because I'm going up against your GL point, because I'm gonna have to be your GL point. Anyway, Pavlo, don't say nothing. Don't laugh
I'm
at
gonna
me.
be so heavy that my GL point is gonna be below 100 by that point.
Oh, please be about 95 kilo. That would be nice.
Let me just ask Kedrick.
Exactly, that would be nice.
Oh,
I said,
you can bribe him.
That's what I spoke to him
I
yesterday. I
won't
was
be
like,
mad if he gives me 4,000 calories out of
I
nowhere.
would say, I said, Kendrick, a little bit more cheese on Agata's food. Tell him like every food you have, even when you're having water, sprinkle some cheese in there. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, again, of course, the next meet for me in my head is silent worker, because you've already asked permission. You know what I mean? Everything is in place. I don't see why not, right? And the silent work is not in me. You guys going there, you're breaking world record. You know what I mean? You're going there to have fun, so I don't see why not. So again, the advocacy one, let's say probably that won't be happening. But in terms of next year, what's the plan for next year if you don't get your license reinstated for Sheffield? What's the plan?
We'll see what happens with my license. If I get it later, I would probably just do nationals and then try to get to worlds, if it's possible.
If
So-
not,
And then the second Sheffield.
if not, we know we talked before the podcast about it. There is some other.
Yeah, there's some other revenue there to get access to those meets. So I understand. So Pavla, in terms of yourself as well, because this is happening to Agata, and you have goals, because I've heard, I know you have you don't, I mean, this is not even a joke, but you have got the biggest roster in Poland when it comes to coaches and the powerlifters and athletes, right? So because of what's happening now, how this issue has affected your relationship with other athletes?
Actually, my athletes are out on our side. Most of my athletes are also my friends in some way. So they are on our side, even because I will not be, because I resigned from license, as you heard. I will be just on the as a spectator during the Costa Rica the Worlds, because I have two lifters there, and they totally okay with that. Actually, I will be like Mike Tushir, I believe, or some other coach who are not like in relation with
Involved, yeah.
Yeah. So just we'll talk with them between attempts and before attempts and see how it goes. So I will be like in charge, but just sitting and being a spectating. In terms of nationals, I think nothing will happen. We'll see. Maybe they will call the police to just get me out.
Remove you.
Yeah. But we'll see. Because actually, you can't like be at the nationals only if you will get caught on drugs.
Oh,
There
okay.
is no other explanation to get you out from there.
Oh,
So
okay.
actually, I'm pretty convinced that during the nationals they can do shit about me. We'll see, of course, we'll see.
So that's the
Cannot
national
translate it.
so that's the national that Agata you're aiming to do as well. It's the same national.
the
Our
next year.
nationals are happening at the same time as silent worker.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So hold on. So the national you're saying if you don't do Sheffield, right?
No, that's like so we every year we have national championships and a national cup, and the
Okay.
national cup is usually the qualifying meet for worlds, and it's in March. And then we have
Okay.
nationals in October.
Yeah, in October.
So for the national cup, you don't need a qualifying tour for the national cup.
No, everyone
We
can
have
sign up.
something like regionals.
We
Actually,
don't.
Oh, okay.
everyone
Okay.
can
Okay.
compete during the nationals and national cup in our country.
Oh, right. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, that's good. All right, mate, guys, thank you very much for this one. Again, I appreciate for literally short notice for you guys literally coming, talking to me about it. But this is one of these things like we have to probably spread the word out there because the unfairness is world class here. Do you know what I mean? It's world class. And they're trying to do it to none other than just Agata shitcodes, which is almost stupid. And then the rest of 69s and 74, 76 around the world right now, they're literally drinking their cup of coffee thinking, she's not going to be there world next year. Oh my God, I don't need to work harder. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So that means I might be fighting for a second. You mean the, oh yeah, I don't want to talk about that. I do not want to talk. I do not want to open that kind of worm and talk about that 84. I don't. Because the rest of the world, people already talking about it. I want to leave there because I'm going to have a face-to-face in my podcast.
Okay.
That's when I'm going to talk about it. This is why, you see, I started the podcast until the end. I didn't ask you anything about what next year because I want to save it for later. That would be better. But anyway, again, I appreciate you guys for coming in. So anyone who's listening to us, of course, you heard the story from Agata and Paweł themselves. Again, there's a lot going on, guys. If you have a comment or any other question, drop in the comment sections. But please, let's spread the word. Let's get this thing going, right? Let's try. Even if we can change the organizational structure of these federations that are holding power, let's do it, right? Yes. You know, we've seen Australia's done it. New Zealand has done it in the past. We've seen that now. Look at North Korea, right? South Korea. Was the Kinnan had to compete as an American. But if they had a federation that he want to compete and represent, we would be having him a world wearing their flag. Do you know what I mean? So this makes me really sad because these guys have got talent. They have got the opportunity to be on those podiums and, you know, winning potentially, but they're taking that away from them because the federation is just trying to be fucking dickhead. Do you know what I mean? So we need to stop this. So yes, Paweł, on your turn, I'm gonna ask you in terms of like, because I know you have got a coaching company, you have got a lot of people that, again, me and you had a conversation with the DMs. You know, every time like I told like Agata's coach, he's actually reachable. That's what I was saying. Like, start pushing a lot of English content. Start pushing it because you have Agata. You have got the best powerlifter that ever lived. Just imagine how many people want to work with you. And then already, we're not going to mention names here. Some of the big names are coming already. Do you know what I mean? So how would people reach out to you, Paweł?
Actually, I think the best way will be by my Instagram. It's my name and surname. So be my guest to just write to me by that. Also by email. You. Oh shit! How to say it?
What's the email? Gmail.
No, it's our email, but how to
again?
Yeah, it is.
Can you? Is it written in English?
Jurczyński?
Yeah.
A co? A Jurand.
G-U-R-A-N-D.
Do you know what? How about when I put comments on when I put my comment on this podcast, we'll put the email, right? We'll put it down. You send it to me, I'll put it in the comment section for people to see.
Yeah.
So yeah,
but
fantastic.
Instagram will be the best way to just contact with me.
I'm just gonna put it out there, guys. Don't worry. When you go to Paweł, it doesn't mean he's gonna give you 7 days SPD. No, not everybody are the same, right? Because some people be thinking, I don't want to go to him, he's gonna break me. Agata has never broken. I've been broken. Of course, you know, Sheffield 2023, she was a little bit broken, but she turned up at Sheffield 2023.
That was no, I wasn't doing 6 SBDs before Sheffield 23.
You wasn't not doing 6 days. That's why you were injured.
I was doing 6 SBDs most of the year and lower frequency on squats and deadlifts for like the last 2 blocks before Sheffield, I believe. And I got injured after that.
That's why you got injured. See, now since you've been doing 6-7 days, look at you.
Yeah.
Right now, probably
Always
after this
healthy.
this call, you're gonna go and do SPD. Do you know what I mean? By the way, you see that day when you posted said like you did 2 SPD days in one day. It's 2 SPD session in one day. You know, I tried that like 2 weeks ago. I almost died.
It actually went pretty good for me.
Yeah.
No, I'm not kidding you. I did my first SPD in the morning. I did work, right? I went for a little bit of a bike ride. I came back. I said, okay, let me go do my second SPD, which was high bar pause, you know, like normal, like spot a bench and then pause deadlift. I did the pause, I did the bench, the deadlift. I could not pull 250 kilo off the floor.
But
I
was
couldn't.
your first SBD of the day heavy?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why.
It will.
So is the other way around, huh?
Yeah. It must be polarized. Sorry.
Okay.
The first SBD I did that day was like 60% for like force.
Yeah. Nothing.
And then the next one was heavier.
Yeah.
So the first one was almost like a warm up to it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, yes.
now I understand. Next time I'll fix it because I could not put, because you know when we're sumos, you know, I did my warm up, I pulled 225, it was easy. I was like, all right, let me just jump to 250 and do my falls. I literally, my starting position, I'm pulling the bar, my quads are refusing to do anything. No power at all. And I'm thinking, like, what's that? My back is strong to pull the weight, but I'm thinking, if I use my back, I'm gonna snap. Right? I just said that. And I kid you not, I left that weight there. 2 days later, I opened the gym, the weight was still there. I was like, this is crazy. I almost died. Anyway, I'm gonna close up there, guys. For as I said, the topic that we spoke about, if it has affected anybody, drop me a message. And if you want to talk to Agata, drop Agata a note or drop Paweł a DM. They will be able to explain a little bit more or give you a little bit more answers to your questions. On that note, let's speak soon.